Hello, hello everyone. Happy Tuesday. If this is your very first live cast with me, I'm Natasha Hazlett, and I help entrepreneurs from around the world get the clarity, confidence, and strategies that they need to boost their income and level of influence in the world without working longer hours. And today I am coming to y'all from a different place. I actually decided that today I've started finally writing my book. I'm so excited. It's something that's been on my heart for a long time. Hello, Christy. You may recognize the office that I'm in right now. Um, Anyways, this book has been on my heart for a long time, and it was time to get started. And so the book is called Unstoppable Influence. And finally, I just needed to be in a completely different place, one that I feel inspired and just uplifted and just in a good place. And so I decided to come to my friend's office. She's amazing, and she's got just a gorgeous space that is just, I don't know, it just fuels my creativity. So I have been writing for the past, I don't know, like 3 hours. And finally I realized, oh my gosh, I got to do my Facebook Live for the day. So, so most of y'all know that I decided probably about a month ago almost that I was going to do a Facebook Live every single day for 30 days. And I had a little bit of a rough start at first. Had to start over. And I don't even know how many days I'm on right now. But I'm excited to talk with y'all today about the post that I made earlier this morning. And it was about being positive in a negative situation. That it's not naive, it's leadership. And I have to tell you, and some of y'all might be surprised to know this, but most of you know, if you've followed me for any period of time since November of last year, I always start the day off with a little, I don't know, inspiring post, a post to hopefully get y'all thinking. And I've actually had some people write snarky comments occasionally or send me messages. And the gist is like, what's up with all this positive like BS? And you can't be happy all the time. There's bad stuff going on in the world. Like, why are you, just basically like, what's the point of all of this positivity? That's just basically like BS. And it's for some of you guys, you may be like surprised that people think that way or would say something like that. But the reality is that when you put yourself out there publicly, like I have, you get a mixed bag. Some people love it and some people hate it. And some people are just like, I don't know. They're so bold that they're going to let you know when they think you suck. And I'm okay with it. I've learned over the years, putting myself out there, that just not to take it personally. But anyways, so although I have to admit, when people get irritated because of my inspiring posts, I'm like, seriously, it's like someone that hates puppy dogs or something. I'm like, what? I don't get it, and it makes me sad. But you have the ability to fill your life with what you want to fill it with. And for me, I would rather focus on positivity and self-growth and self-awareness. It may surprise y'all, especially those of y'all that know that I used to be really involved in politics, and I loved politics, and I loved the news, and I loved current events. And with the exception of the election, which I was still pretty limited on what I was listening to, I actually just turn off the TV. I'm like, that's it. I cannot listen to this stuff anymore. You want to know why? Because it was bringing me down. It was putting me in a bad state, and nothing good was coming from it. I mean, the reality is, if something catastrophic is happening, if something big is happening, come on, it will show up as trending on Facebook or Twitter or something else. I will not be the last to know. But I also have made the active choice that I am going to surround myself with things that are more positive. Because I believe, and one of my clients is such a genius. She said, "What you focus on is going to show up in your life." So if you, for example, are focusing on positive things and growth and all of that, positivity and growth is going to show up in your life. If you're focusing on what you don't have, if you're focusing on a lack of money, a lack of resources, a lack of X, Y, and Z, you want this, you need this, you're scared, all this stuff, like more of that is going to come to you. And I think that the hallmark, because this quote was talking about how being positive in a negative situation is not naive, it's leadership. I think as leaders, we need to, if you're called to be a leader, I think that you have an opportunity to help people become the best version of themselves. You have ability to influence them in a good way, in a positive way. And so I think that that's a hallmark of a good leader. I don't think that leaders that are so focused on tearing down other people, pointing out everyone's or people's shortcomings, just I don't know, those kinds of negative things. I don't think that those are hallmarks of a good leader. That's just my opinion. And so think about, like, when you're putting yourself out there, how do you want to show up? And what do you want to show up in your life? If it's positive, then fill your feed with positive things. And for those of y'all that are getting depressed by the news and stuff, just turn it off. Just turn it off. I'll tell you, I've got a lot of friends that are joining me in the 10-pound takedown challenge. NatashaHazlett.com/10, spelled out TEN. And I have to tell you that one of the things that I'm going to recommend that everyone does that is that's going to join the challenge, clean out your dang news feed. If you have a friend that is like always sharing posts of like fattening foods and stuff, like clear it out. Like, or if there are pages that are advertisements because you've liked a bunch of recipes and it's all bad for you stuff, just click unfollow, or I don't want to see this in my news feed. Clean out your news feed, okay? That's one of the best pieces of advice that Christy gave everyone in the Code Red Challenge last time. Clean it out, because you don't want that stuff in your sphere, right? It takes away the temptation. Likewise, if you've been feeling down, why not fill up your newsfeed with following people that inspire you, whoever it is? It doesn't matter. But you have the ability to actually select, and when it comes to like either friends or pages, saying see their posts first. Stack your newsfeed with people and brands and other stuff that are going to uplift you, and so that you can start seeing more of this stuff showing up in your life. Okay, so Ryan Mayer of Orofino, Idaho, has lost like 60 pounds, and he has spread the word about what Christy Code Red did. And I'll tell you a little bit more about him. I want to read this before this comment goes away. I got told I was bragging too much. It was like she hit me in the stomach. I wasn't trying to brag. I was trying to encourage others. Ryan, you know this, that your heart is pure, and no one that is in the right frame is going to think that you are bragging. You are excited and you want to empower others with the amazing information that changed your life. Y'all, Ryan got like over 100 people in his town of like, how many people do y'all have, Ryan? Like 3,000 people in Orofino, Idaho? 100 people showed up at a meeting to meet Christy, and a ton. I don't know. Heck, probably half the town's going to end up being on the challenge. And what an exceptional leader. And I got to tell you, it's not bragging. It's actually so humbling that someone would say, I was in this place and I was able to change my life and I lost weight and this is how I did it. That's not bragging. But I got to tell you, it brings back a quote that my friend Heather Quizzle shared years ago. You can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there are still going to be people that just don't like peaches. And that's the reality. And that's just a projection. As you know, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I think it's an important point to bring up that these other people, they're projecting their fears, their insecurities on you. And that's a shame. But everyone has a choice of how they're going to show up in life. And so that is how that woman was deciding to show up, and shame on her. But I tell you, Ryan, I hope you will continue to share your story from the mountaintops. Quite frankly, I think that, Ryan, I think you need to be on the Today Show. I think you need to be on Good Morning America. Of a person who is showing exemplary leadership. You are empowering people to take back their life, and I think that is freaking amazing. And I could only imagine if other people in positions of authority would be willing to go out and inspire others and empower others with the information that they need to better their life. I mean, oh my gosh, this world would be a much better place. So, anyways, and at the end of the day, just know that, some people are going to be into what you do and some people aren't. But I'll tell you what, this girl is all about positivity. I'm not naive. I don't have rose-colored glasses. I know that there is bad stuff in this world. I know that everything is not just perfect and peachy and rosy, and I don't ever pretend like it is. For those of y'all that have seen my story of my struggle with and my weight loss story, I didn't pretend like I just had it all figured out from the beginning. I had to go really, really low so that I could come up and learn an amazing lesson. So Kelly says, showing people what works is incredible, and I totally agree. And honestly, what people do with the information that you, hey Angela, hey Deborah, hey Aaron, showing people what works and giving people access to powerful information, I think is a noble thing. I think it's a good thing. One last thing that I'll bring, because I was going to turn this off so I can go back and keep writing, but I think that putting it out there for people is super important, but it's also not your responsibility on whether people decide to implement the knowledge or if they take action on it. The best that you can do, just like what Mayor Ryan has done, we call him incredible shrinking mayor because he lost 60 pounds. Like, he lost like 30 pounds. And I'm sorry, y'all know by now that I'm totally like ADD, right? So I'll talk about like 60 million different things. Anyways, Ryan, the incredible shrinking mayor, joined Christie's 10-pound takedown challenge in March, lost 30 pounds, and then got on a custom program with Christy after the challenge and lost another 30 pounds. It's unbelievable. And now he's sharing it with his town. Now, Ryan, by showing, I want to use him as an example, Mayor Ryan, by showing people what is possible for them, is not responsible for their success or failure, because everyone is responsible for their own success, their own results. Does that make sense? So, I am putting out into the world what I feel like I should be putting out there, and what everyone does with it is their own thing, because I think that a lot of it has to do with timing. For some people, the time isn't right, but you just keep doing what you're doing. You keep posting it out there. You keep spreading your good word, and know that the right people's lives will be touched. And don't worry about it if you got the negative Nellies out there. They exist. They will come, especially the bigger you go. And that's another thing to keep in mind, y'all. Like, the bigger you go, the bigger your sphere of influence, the more public you are, the more you're going to get some backlash. Okay? I can only imagine some of the people talking about the fact that I was so willing to share my story about my weight loss. And gosh, I mean, why would you show that unflattering picture of yourself? Why would you ever actually admit in public that you were 210 pounds at your heaviest? Why? Because I know that there are a lot of people that are tipping the scales at weights that freak them out. And whether it's over 200 for some people, over 300 for some people, I know this because they're emailing me. And if my courage in sharing this, and it is courage, y'all, I will tell you, it's not something I just love talking about, I promise, is going to transform lives for the better. If just one person ends up, as a result of this, I have like 30-some people that are doing this challenge with me now, which is super fun. And if one person's life is transformed as a result of my story, then I'm good. It was all worth it. So I'm going to keep coming to y'all with positivity. I am going to come to you with inspiration. I am going to continue to uplift you and encourage you to be the very best version of yourself, because that's who I am, and that is what I want to project out in the world. And for those people that don't like it, just hit the unfollow button and move on. So that is my message for y'all today. It's so fun to see you on here, and thanks for joining me. And for those of y'all, we still got a little bit of time left for you to join the 10-pound takedown. If you feel like terrible and puffy and bloated and you feel horrible because of all the stuff that you drank and ate over Memorial Day, you have a few days to get it together and join us on the 10-pound takedown. So you can go to NatashaHazlett.com/10, TEN, and join. If you join the challenge with me, shoot me a private message. I've got a little support group that I'm doing just for my friends, so I can give you all a little extra love. So anyways, thanks for joining today, and I will see you on tomorrow's live. Bye, friends.